Hi, my name is Eric Dream Giver. You guys might recognize me as Eric the Go Good from back here in Destin, Florida. I've been all over the country, and I'm back here in Destin at the church in the bar. They're here at the Shoreline Church. They started out as a movie theater, and now they are here in a bar at the old night town. They are inviting everybody this Sunday. I'm going to be here next Sunday as well, Easter Sunday. I'm inviting everybody to come out. If you guys want to come out, I'll be here next Sunday, Easter Sunday, helping out the church. Make sure you guys come down to Shoreline Church. And yeah, it's probably going to be my final day in town. And if not, meet up with me before that. So yeah. Here at Shoreline Church, this place used to be a church and a movie theater, then it was a church and a bar, and now they bought a bar to have a church in the bar. This used to be the old night town, and now it's the official Shoreline Church. This place is awesome. Everybody from when I used to go to here still go to church here. We still got Eric as the pastor. We still got all the great people. This place is awesome. Let's see if we can get an interview with him. Eric, he's a senior pastor. Senior pastor here at Shoreline Church. He's the
and this is Eric, the goat man.
Yep, and he's the one that's one of the people that started the church and still running the church.
Yep.
Tell me about the church.
It's in the old night town.
So now it's a church and a bar.
Yeah, we used to be we still do the AJs sometimes. On Easter we'll do AJs. And then we used to be in the movie theater, and then we had Uptown Station, but now we're just here mainly. And of course for AJs on Easter.
Okay.
Yeah, but everybody who went to Nighttown, it looks a lot different, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's
a lot cooler, but there's still a whole lot of Nighttown, like a lot of that stuff is from Nighttown. We repurposed it. We didn't get rid of their stuff, so it still kind of looks like Nighttown, but cleaner, no vomit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. All the good things, none of the bad.
That's right. And did you see the slide in there?
That's kind of like what God does to us.
Exactly.
We store all the good things about us.
Yes.
And get rid of all the bad.
That was exactly our thinking. We didn't want to just make it look completely different. We just figured it was like us. God takes your life, He redeems it, and writes a new chapter. And so Nighttown just has a new chapter.
Yes.
And everyone's welcome. Even Eric traveled all the way across the country to be here. I saw you on the news during COVID in Seattle during Black Lives Matter.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I was like, there's Eric!
Yeah, I've been in the news so many times.
I know. You're like Forrest Gump.
And so, so you're like, what do you call it? Non-denominational?
Non-denominational Christian church, yep.
So it's a cool church. They play rock music and all things.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, it's for young people.
Yeah.
But old people can come too.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. If you ever in Destin, this is definitely the church to come to.
Yep. Services are on 8:30, 10, and 10:30.
8:30 and 11:30. All right. Yeah, look at this place. It's all brand new.
You pay for coffee here, but around the corner it's free.
Uh-huh.
So, see the ladies getting coffee right there, all that's free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. And that's the kid church in there. And good morning. I haven't even been in here yet. Wow, okay, yeah, this is the main auditorium where they look, they have a slide and everything.
I think it's, yeah.
Everybody Raven had I used to go to church with.
You have brought us for the eternal joy that we have because of you. We are here as a community changed because King Jesus showed up in our life and has brought life and life to the fullest. And so this morning, would you speak, would you move? We are excited for what you're going to do in this place. We give you all the praise and all the honor. We praise in your name, Jesus. And everyone says, why don't you say hi to some people around you? Oh, microphone's on.
Why don't you say Happy Palm Sunday or something, and then sat down. Good morning, everybody! Wow. After being gone 2 Sundays, I would expect a bigger shout of welcome. Some of you are like, who is that guy?
What's up?
You know who I am. So my name's Eric. I'm the lead pastor here. It's just like to welcome you here on Palm Sunday. So glad that you're here. I want to also welcome those that might be watching online. If this is your service, we're glad that you're tuned in. And just a reminder that in front of you in the seat pocket, or maybe on a table in front of you, is a connection card. And if you, plus we have it online. If you download our app, you can fill it out. But we just want to connect with you. Just want to hear your story. Maybe you can come meet us. If you fill out that card, you can drop it in the offering in just a moment, or you can do it online. Or if you actually want to meet a person, stop at our Connections Lounge in the lobby. So this week is the start. Let me know when y'all are finished. And I'll keep going. Like the teacher always called you out. This week is Semana Santa, which is Holy Week. If you're Spanish, it's Semana Santa. A lot of stuff happened this week leading up to Easter 2,000 years ago. Remember, 2,000 years ago, maybe you don't remember, but today we celebrate Jesus coming in. Palm Sunday coming into Jerusalem. They were hailing him as the King of Kings, you know. And then this week was super important because you may not know this, but this week, 2,000 years ago, Jesus was continually tested by the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the lawyers, the high priests, and they could find nothing. They could find no fault in him. In fact, we would say, when they found no fault in him, the Sadducees then asked him a question. And the reason, they didn't know this, but they were actually examining the Passover lamb, the Lamb of God that was going to be slain before the foundation of the world for the sins of the world. They were testing him to make sure he was perfect. So it was a huge week. That's why he was there, was to be tested. You know, a few years ago, it was pretty well, actually a while back in the 90s, we got to spend Semana Santa in Guatemala, in Antigua, which is one of the oldest cities of the New World. And it's a huge celebration there. I mean, they compare it to Carnival in Brazil. Lots of people come there, and what's so cool about it is their week is full of stuff. In fact, on Friday, Good Friday, they hang effigies of Judas all over the city. It's pretty cool. They're all hanging from light posts and things like that. One person liked it. And then, on Good Friday, that's coffee, that won't help. So anyway, it's got booze in it. Anyway, oh, good one there. Cheers. It's Destin. In the middle of the streets of Antigua, and they're just beautiful, like tapestries of colored sawdust. But then on Good Friday, they have these parades with these huge floats. I have a picture of them. These huge floats, and they walk through those colored paintings, I guess. And it's a huge honor to carry one of these floats. Some of them take 100 people to carry these floats through the town. And I almost got ran over when I was trying to get this picture. They were yelling at me, but I don't speak Spanish, so it was good. But it was just a crazy day. And so I love Holy Week. I love what it means, what we're leading up to. It's like a countdown for the redemption of the world. It's awesome. And so we've got a lot happening this week. So I just want to let you know so that you're ready. On this Friday, we have a Good Friday prayer experience. And what I mean by that is not a service. You can come and go anytime between 6 and 8. We're going to have communion stations, prayer, worship, scripture reading, all kinds of good stuff. So if you just want to come in and get in touch with God, that's awesome. And then on Saturday, we have a Saturday night service. For those that are making room for Sunday morning, that's at 6 p.m. Then we have our normal 3 services here for Easter on 8:30, 10, and 11:30. And then one down at AJ's. And guess who's going to be there? I'll be speaking at AJ, so all you sinners show up there, and I'll see you there on Easter Sunday. Anyway, and so we've got a lot going on, but we want to be strategic because this is the week that people come to church, and all they're waiting for is an invitation. They're already deciding they're going to go to church on Easter. Because they went at Christmas, now it's time to go for Easter, and they're deciding where they're going to go, and your invitation could send them over. So we've got some strategies for you. First of all, out in the lobby, we've got yard signs. So make sure you grab a yard sign, put it in your yard, put it in front of your business as a reminder to people that we've got services. Now, we have a strategy, what we call is invest and invite. Is you've invested in your friendships, you've invested in your coworkers, you've invested in your family, and now it's time to invite them. Cash in on that invitation. And we're going to do our best at communicating the Easter message in a simple but creative way so that you can be a hit with your friends. In fact, one of the ways you can invest in them is say, hey, ready? We would like to take your family to lunch after Easter service. All right? So an invest and invite. And we also say, let's make room. If you're not bringing guests, we're asking you not to attend the 10 o'clock service because that's the one that's going to be the most crowded. That you would attend at least a less attended service like Saturday night or the 11:30 service. Or you can do what we've asked a lot of people to do is serve one and attend one. And if you're not yet on our Legend team, you can sign up at our Connections Lounge and we can get you on the Legend team because we would love for you to serve one, there you go, and attend one. All right? So, in just a moment, we're going to receive our offering, and so as our host team gets ready to receive it, they're going to have multiple ways to give. And I just want to say thank you because of your generosity. We are able to be strategic for Easter week and get those signs and do some other things to advertise what's going on in here. But as always, we are into irrational generosity, which means if you're here this morning and you're in need of food, you're in need of food, clothing, or shelter. If you have our permission when the buckets go down that rows, that if there's cash in there, you have our permission to reach in there. Take that cash out of there because we know it's God's anyway and He wants to bless you. So, host team, if you go ahead and pass the buckets. Now, before Easter, we're kind of setting up, same thing. Semana Santa, Holy Week. We want to kind of prepare ourselves for Easter. And so we're back in our series called God's Way. And I'm really excited about Pastor Graham's talk. He's one of my favorite speakers in the whole world. I'm really excited about his talk because it is going to put us in the right mindset this week as we lead up to one of our high holidays, the Holy Week, Easter Sunday. So, if you would, please give a big warm welcome as Pastor Graham brings.
Good morning. My name is Graham Cowgill, and one of the pastors here. Really honored that you guys have spent this morning with us. Would you also help me welcome those watching online? I love it. I love how far the Shoreline community reaches. Okay, so we are continuing on, Pastor Eric just said this, in our year-long vision series. It's called God's Way. And our attempt with this series is for us to kind of unite corporately as a church, but also individually to say, hey, let's be honest in our evaluation of the different areas of our life. And let's just say, are there any areas that we continually kind of do our way? And what does it look like to replace that with God's way? Because we've done it our way our entire lives, and we've seen where that's led us. Right? It leads us to the place where we're hopeless, leads us to the place where we're like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. And then we go, so maybe this year is different. That we try God's way inside this. And as we dissect what God's way looks for us in different departments, really what it's doing is it is bringing us closer to other people and it's bringing us closer to God. There's a verse that I love. It's Philippians 1:20. This is God's way for our life. No matter what, I will continue to hope and passionately cling to Christ, so that he will be openly revealed through me before everyone's eyes. So I will not be ashamed. In my life or in my death, Christ will be magnified in me. It's good. It also sounds a little intense. I get that. But what this is really is this is us learning to surrender. This is us learning to fully trust in the good God. If we are fully trusting, or at least learning to do that, then what we're doing is in every area of our life, we are experiencing his presence in our victories. We are also experiencing his comfort in our time of pain and loss. It is him in every aspect. I saw this on display this past week. Family in Destin, a beloved family in Destin, had a tragic loss of a child this past week. A child whom everybody loved, who everybody would just characterize as the most joyful kid you've ever seen. And his brother, the child who died's brother, is really good friends with my oldest son, Gage. And so when I found out the news, I left work, and Kristen and I kind of sat the kids down and we wanted to tell them, because this is going to be their first experience with death and processing those emotions. And so we wanted to be able to process with them, or at least give them the freedom to do that. And as you can imagine, all three of them processed it very differently. But Gage, my oldest son, just kept saying, I need to be with my friend. I need to be with my friend. I need to be with my friend. And, we were honored to be invited over to the house of the family. And so Gage and I went over there. I got to sit with the family, and Gage went to go play with his friend. And later I asked Gage how it went, and he goes, well, we would play for a little bit, and then he would say something about it, and then we'd play a little bit more, and then he'd say something about it. About how you would imagine a child would process through it. He did say that at one moment, his friend goes, to Gage, goes, you know how little brothers are annoying? Gage goes, yeah. He goes, I really wish my brother was here to annoy me right now. That just is tragic. And as that was happening, I'm sitting with the family in there, and there's no answers you can give at that moment. There's nothing that makes sense. There's nothing that makes that okay or makes it right or fixes anything. So we just sat and we cried, and we sat some more. I was so very proud of the way that my son showed up inside of that. Selfless, recognizing hurt, recognizing pain, being an extension of love inside of that moment. Here's why I bring that up. Because I think it's important, as we're talking about God's way, for us to recognize that God's way does not mean that everything works out perfectly. That's not what that means. We live in a fallen world, and really terrible things happen every single day. But our hope is not in circumstance. Our hope is not in social landscape. Our hope is in a good Father who mourns when we weep, but also who declares that death is not the final chapter. In fact, it is just the beginning of a life of eternal love and hope and a relationship with the God that we were designed for. As we talk about God's way, recognize that what God's way means is so much more, so much richer, so much deeper than what happens here on earth. We are talking about an eternity connected to our good God. This morning, a verse is going to kind of kick off what we're talking about. It's from Isaiah. It's Isaiah 14:3. It says this: It shall come to pass in the day the Lord gives you rest from your sorrow and from your fear and from the hard bondage in which you were made to serve. Bondage, being